It is time for Hamilton Southeastern basketball on Audio Sports Online. Tonight, the Royals are at Carmel to take on the Greyhounds in what should be a pretty entertaining basketball game coming up. But before we get to the varsity action, we've got some JV basketball for you tonight. My name's Brian Scott. Thanks for joining me once again for Royals basketball on ASO. JVs will take to the court first as Hamilton Southeastern Final four games of this season, 2 on the road, 2 at home, and they're all big games for the Royals as they will be playing some very, very tough competition. But tonight we'll get started with the JVs. If you have not noticed, on your video, yes, we are rather close. So we're going to be a few changes tonight in our broadcast. Won't be keeping the stats. We will be relying on our good friends here at Carmel who are gracious enough to have the stats put up on the scoreboard so I can try to keep your camera moving, try to keep abreast of the action tonight because we are so close to the floor here. Also, a little bit on the slow on the internet side, so I know your picture quality might be slightly degraded, but rest assured the archive will look pretty nice. Right now, let's get into the JV games. First off, for the Hamilton Southeastern Royals, head JV coach is Dave Merica, and he's going to have a fairly familiar lineup. Starting at a guard is a 5A freshman, Bradley Beeman. At guard, a 5'11 junior, Josh Fugate. The third guard will be a 6-foot sophomore, Matt Harris. Dylan Hooks will be a 6-foot junior. He'll play the swing position. And at center, a 7'1" freshman, Mabor Majak. So once again, Fugate, Beeman, and Harris in the backcourt. Hooks and Majak in the front court. And that's the starting lineup for the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. For the Carmel Greyhounds, they will start at a guard, a 5'10 freshman, Jackson Jansen. At guard is a 5'11 sophomore, Sam Rogers. The third guard is a 6-foot sophomore, Will Christie. At forward, a 6'3 junior, Alex Jackson. And the other at center, I should say, is a 6'6 sophomore, Ben Frisch. So once again, Jansen, Rogers, Christie in the backcourt, Frisch and Jackson are your front court for the Carmel Greyhounds. The Royals are in their road royal blue jerseys with white numerals and white trim. The Greyhounds in their home whites with the gold numerals and the gold trim. So we're about ready for basketball. Pull up a chair. Glad you could join us on a Friday night here from Carmel High School as we get ready to jump center. Mabor Majak will jump center against Ben Frisch. We're about ready to get this game underway from Carmel High School. Officials give the check as Majak and Frisch jump center, and it will be the Royals with the basketball to begin this contest as Josh Fugate will get it to Dylan Hooks, and Hooks has the first bucket of the game. And the Royals jump out to a 2-0 lead on their opening possession. There are the Greyhounds as they move the basketball around. Jackson with it. They'll send it left side. 3-ball on the way. That's up. That is good by Will Christie. And just like that, the Greyhounds take the lead on the 3-2. Fugate with the basketball as he gives it to Harris, kind of trapped at the free throw line. Instead, they give it to Hooks in the corner. Hooks, left elbow, picks it up, feeds down low to Harris, who wraps it around to Majak. And Majak, they will wave off the basket as they will call the big 7'1" freshman for traveling. Speaking of Mabor Majak, we'll remind you, hopefully you have caught the article in the Indianapolis Star as written by Greg Doyle, a very, very good piece on the 7'2" now. He's listed as 7'1" in the program guide. He's actually has grown. He's about 7'2" now. As there's a three once again by this one by Jackson. Majak has the rebound, but an excellent article by Greg Doyle as he explains how Mabor Majak ended with the Royals. Bradley Beeman's three is no good. Ball is loose. Harris chases it down for Southeastern and gives it to Fugate. Fugate right side to Beeman. They'll give it down low to Majak. Majak down in the low right block, spins into the basket, and he's going to be fouled. And the first foul of the game will belong to Ben Frisch of the Carmel Greyhounds. 5:18 remains in this first quarter, and the Royals lead 3-2. And Mabor Majak is at the line. Mabor, the last couple of games, he's had some very good free throw shooting. And he will sink that free throw to tie the game at 3. One more for the freshman. And that one's too strong, and the rebound comes down in the hand of Alex Jackson, and he will hand the ball off to Will Christie, who gets it into the front court. Harassed by Fugate. They get to the right side. Jackson, his shot blocked by Majak, who picks up the basketball. He'll take it himself. Stop at the three-point line. Send it right side to Beeman. Beeman drives baseline. Gives the ball to Mabor, who gives it back to Fugate. Fugate drives. Teardrop floater is no good. Ball's poked around. It's on the floor. And finally, Matt Harris comes away with the basketball. Fugate to Harris. He'll launch the three. That one's just a little strong. Beeman, though, he gets the rebound, and the Royals keep possession. Harris, three from the corner. That's good. Matt Harris's three give the Royals a 6-3 lead with 4:27 remaining in this first quarter of play. Is Alex Jackson to Will Christie, to Sam Rogers. Rogers, left side. Here's a three on the way. That one's halfway down, comes back out, but it ping-pongs out. As getting the basketball is Jackson Jansen. He loses it, but we have a whistle and a foul called against Hamilton Southeastern. Matt Harris will pick up his first personal foul, and the Greyhounds will take it off from the baseline, trailing by 3 with 4:09 left to go opening quarter. They get the ball to Jackson. He drives baseline, now sends it out to Ben Frisch, who sends it up top to Christie. Christie, right side, into the hands of Rogers. Rogers works on Matt Harris, and then they'll send the ball to the left side. 3-ball up, 3-ball good by Will Christie. So Christie with a pair of buckets, both of them from long range as Fugate tries his hand from beyond the arc. He's no good, and we'll go the other way with the game tied at 6. Down low as Jackson's shot is no good. Majak clears the rebound, and Hooks brings it into the front court. DeLind, top of the key, left side to Harris. Harris will take his place and now drive down the right side, put the shot up, won't get the bucket. And they'll say the foul occurred before the shot. So they will get Sam Rogers with a personal foul as substitutions, as Connor Wemoff and Cole Brady will come in. Sitting will be Ben Frisch and Jackson Jansen for the Greyhounds. We're tied at 6. As Majak gets the inbound, he'll send it to Beeman. Majak with the basketball, backs down, spins, shot off the glass, and rattles it home. Mabor Majak with that one free throw, and now 2 from the field. He has 3, and the Royals' lead is 8-6. Trapped against the sideline, they got Will Christie as Majak pinned him, and it'll go off of the big man, and the ball will remain in the hands of the Greyhounds as Bradley Beeman departs and Cole Hornbuckle now in for Southeastern. He'll send it to Jackson up top to Rogers. Rogers goes right side. This is Cole Brady, and he will hand the ball back over to Christie, and they'll send the ball back to top. And as Alex Jackson made a move to dribble left side wing, he's going to be called for steps. Turnover gives the ball back to Southeastern. They lead by 2, 8-6 with 2:41 remaining in this first quarter of play. Hornbuckle right side to Fugate, back to Matt Harris, back to Hornbuckle, lobs it down to Majak. Majak drives baseline. He's called for traveling. Had a strong baseline move, but just simply forgot to put the ball on the court before he made that move. He's called for steps, and the turnover gives the ball back to the Greyhounds, trailing 8-6 with 2:26 remaining in this first quarter of play. Picking up his dribble now was Rogers, and he finally finds Brady, and they'll give it back to Rogers, guarded by Fugate, left side to Jackson. They'll find Brady. Left side, driving, free throw line, and throwing it away was Will Christie as he was trying to go to the near side and throws it out of bounds to Connor Wemoff. And the turnover will now give the ball to Southeastern. They lead 8-6, under 2 minutes left to go in this first quarter. They lob it to Mabor. Mabor puts it off the glass, count the bucket, and send the big man to the line. A steady diet of getting the ball down into the big 7'2" freshman. And he does a good job getting the basket and drawing the foul. Foul will go against Cole Brady, his first, team third against the Greyhounds. And Majak cannot get the and one as the Greyhounds have the rebound. And Will Christie looking at this 2-2-1 press. And now we're going to have a timeout called by Carmel with 1:44 left to go in the first quarter. Hamilton Southeastern leads the Greyhounds by the score of 10-6. It's a 30-second timeout. I'm Brian Scott. Thanks for joining me on this Friday night from Carmel, Indiana. Royals and the Greyhounds in the varsity game should be a good one. Hamilton Southeastern has fallen out of the top 20, but that loss at Columbus North, though they did come back with that impressive win Tuesday night against Newcastle. But it'll be a tough stretch of final four games for Hamilton Southeastern. Tonight against Carmel. Tuesday, Pike will be at Hamilton Southeastern before the Royals finish their road portion of their schedule next Friday night against fellow Hoosier Crossroads Conference member Brownsburg. And then they'll wrap up the season against Lawrence North. Royals lead by 4. Greyhounds with the basketball. This is Alex Jackson. He slips, finds Brady. Brady's jumper no good, and Majak has the rebound for Southeastern. Here's Hooks. Drives through the lane, tries to leave it off to Majak. Majak was going for the rebound, wasn't expecting the pass. As Brandon Miller and Bradley Beeman will come in for Matt Harris and Josh Fugate. Southeastern leads 10-6. 1:19 remaining in this first quarter. Royals pick up some pressure, and the Greyhounds are able to get the ball in. Here's the three by Jackson. It's front rim, won't go down, and Majak has the rebound, giving it to Bradley Beeman. Beeman left side to Brandon Miller. Miller bounce pass into Majak. Majak will hand the ball off to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle stutter steps, bounce pass into the corner. Beeman's three on the way, well short, and Jackson has the air ball. Alex Jackson will bring it into the front court on his own and send it left side to Will Christie. As we're down to 43 seconds remaining in this first quarter, Southeastern leads 10-6, and a whistle. And we'll have a foul called against Hamilton Southeastern, only their second team foul. And they will call Bradley Beeman for his first personal. Greyhounds inbounded to Jackson. Jackson on a run out from Hornbuckle and tries to drive right side, and he's going to be called for traveling. And he looks a little perplexed about the call, but it's the second time he's been called for traveling, and the ball will belong now to Hamilton Southeastern, up by 4 with 34 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Beeman, right side. This is Hooks. Hooks around a Majak screen. Pull-up jumper from the right elbow. That's short and into the hands of Sam Rogers, who will give it over to Will Christie. 14 seconds remain in the first quarter. 10-6, Southeastern with the lead. Left side to Jackson with 8 seconds remaining. Jackson works right side. Turnaround jumper blocked by Majak. And Mabor will not get the shot off. And that is the end of the first quarter of play. Our score from Carmel. Hamilton Southeastern leads the Greyhounds by the score of 10-6. Second quarter action coming up. This is Royals basketball on ASO. Brian Scott back with you from Carmel High School as the Hamilton Southeastern Royals taking on the Carmel Greyhounds tonight. Junior varsity action as we prepare for quarter number 2. Hamilton Southeastern leading the Greyhounds by the score of 10-6. As Mabor Majak with 5 of the Royals' 10 points in that first quarter. And having all 6 points was Will Christie for the Greyhounds. Both of those field goals coming from beyond the arc. To begin the second quarter, it'll be Bradley Beeman, Mabor Majak, Brandon Miller, Cole Hornbuckle, and Matt Harris. And it will be Connor Wemoff along with Will Christie, Alex Jackson, Jackson Jansen back in, and Cole Brady. Greyhounds have the ball to begin second quarter, again trailing by 4. As Christie left side, here is the 3 drains by Jackson Jansen, and that cuts the 4-point deficit down to a single point on one shot. And it's a 10-9 Royal lead. Left side to Hornbuckle. They get Miller. He gets it down to Majak. Majak finds Cole Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle right side to Beeman. Beeman, before he can make his drive, he's going to shuffle the feet and be called for traveling. Another turnover for Hamilton Southeastern, and now the Greyhounds have the basketball, hoping to take a lead, but they'll have to get it across the 2-2-1 press being employed by the Royals. They'll find Jackson in the front court. Jackson in the lane, goes right side. Here's another 3, and it's up and good by Jackson Jansen. So all 4 Greyhounds baskets have come long range, and they now have a 2-point lead against the Royals, 12-10. Miller to Harris. Harris right side to Hornbuckle, lob to Majak, and Majak is going to be called for an offensive foul. Kind of tried to get that arm in there with a bit of a swim move, and they got Mabor on the foul. Third team foul, and Majak's first as Beeman will depart. Fugate will enter the lineup. Meanwhile, for the Greyhounds, Cole Brady will leave, and it'll be Bren Frisch. 12-10, that's our score. 2-2-1 being employed by Hamilton Southeastern as the Greyhounds get it into the front court. Will Christie with the basketball, guarded by Matt Harris as the Royals go man-to-man. Here's Jansen, guarded by Fugate. They get the ball over to Wemhoff, who sends it back out to Jackson. Jansen at the free throw line, teardrop partially blocked by Fugate, and the air ball is brought down by Majak. Here's a 3 by Hornbuckle. That's just a little long, and coming down with the basketball is Will Christie. 12-10 in favor of the Greyhounds. 5:14 left to play. First half, and another 3, this one by Connor Wemhoff, and that is really the only offense the Greyhounds have in this basketball game so far, but they lead 15-10 on the strength of 5 3-point baskets. Here's Fugate. Was going to pass the ball, but found nobody to pass it to, put the shot up. It rolled out and into the hands of Alex Jackson. 4:50 remaining in the first half, as they'll leave it for Jackson right wing. They'll send it back up top to Jackson Jansen. Jansen moves back to Jackson. Here's a 3 on its way. That one will roll around and come out as Majak has the rebound and gives it to Fugate. Fugate into the front court. Right side, Harris raises up, and his shot from the left elbow, no good. Hornbuckle had a chance for a rebound, but he's unable to come away with it. And here come the Greyhounds up by 5. 4:15 remains in this second quarter. Another 3 on the way. That one's drained. Jackson Jansen, and that's going to cause Royals head coach Dave Merica to call a timeout. The Hounds raining threes here in this first half, and especially here in this second quarter, as all of their baskets have come from beyond the arc. They now have 6 3-pointers, and they lead Hamilton Southeastern by the score of 18-10. I'm Brian Scott. Thanks for joining me tonight for Royals basketball on Audio Sports Online. Varsity game to follow should be a good one between the 16-4 Southeastern Royals and the 14-3 and ranked 7th in Class 4A Carmel Greyhounds. Carmel coming off a big win of their own the other night against Lawrence North, a game that went into triple overtime before the Greyhounds prevailed 50-48. And Lawrence North is a team that the Royals will be seeing on the final regular season game at Hamilton Southeastern. So again, a big stretch of games coming up for Hamilton Southeastern as they get ready for sectional play. Out of the timeout, Chris Kotlowski now in. He joins Dayland Hooks, Mabor Majak, Matt Harris, and Josh Fugate. And it'll be Jackson Jansen, Will Christie, Ben Frisch, Alex Jackson, and Sam Rogers on the court for the Greyhounds. Greyhounds now up by 8 with 4 minutes left to go in the second quarter as the Royals get it to Kotlowski. Down low to Majak. Double team comes back to Kotlowski. Good find, but Kotlowski could not get the basket. And Majak's going to be called for his second on an over the back. And Beeman will come in for Mabor, who leaves with 5 points and 2 personal fouls. 14th foul against Hamilton Southeastern, as it was a good find by Mabor as Kotlowski went to the backside, and Kotlowski just simply couldn't finish the play. Here's another three. That's one by Jansen is long, and Hooks has the rebound. Dayland into the front court. Hands the ball off to Harris, and it's tipped into the backcourt. Now Kotlowski he got the ball in the backcourt. That wasn't the problem, but he drug his pivot foot, and he's called for steps. Ball was tipped, so no over and back, but when Kotlowski retrieved the basketball, they say he drug his pivot foot. So traveling turn against Southeastern, and the Greyhounds have the basketball up by 8 with 3:20. Royals still looking for their first points here in this second quarter. As picking up his dribble was Christie. He goes right side to Jansen, and Jansen's going to be knocked down on a foul by Josh Fugate. For Fugate, his first 15 foul against Hamilton Southeastern. Connor Wemoff back into the game for Carmel. He'll take over for Will Christie. 18-10, Carmel with the basketball in the lead. Here's another three. That one's off. And the rebound is fought for and finally controlled by Carmel. Here's a short jumper, and finally Connor Wemhoff gets the basket, and it's the first basket that was not a three-point basket for the Greyhounds, but it does give them a 10-point lead with 2:50 left to go here in the first half. Hooks up to Fugate. Fugate leaves it off for DeLind. DeLind looking for some room, but good defense by the Greyhounds. They'll move it to Kotlowski in the corner, over to Fugate. 2:33 left to go, 20-10. Beeman lost the ball briefly, but corrals it back up and gives it to Kotlowski. Chris hands the ball off to Dayland. Hooks in the lane, gets knocked, and a whistle and a foul will go against the Greyhounds. Their fourth team foul. And the personal foul will go against Alex Jackson. His first, team fourth. And Fugate will inbound the basketball from the baseline. He finds Hooks a little far underneath. Hooks shot rejected by Jackson. And here come the Greyhounds as Jackson Jansen will bring it into the front court. He'll leave it for Jackson, who got the block. Over to Wemhoff up top. This is Sam Rogers. Rogers over to Jansen. And as we approach 2 minutes left to go in the first half, Greyhounds lead 20-10. Royals still looking for their first points here in the second quarter. Here's a shot. Rogers shot no good as Fugate is on the floor. And a whistle and a foul, I believe it will go against Hamilton Southeastern. And the foul will be called against Dayland Hooks. Cole Brady back in, and he'll take over for Ben Frisch. 16 foul against Southeastern, and first personal against Hooks. Here's Alex Jackson. His shot no good. Hooks with a rebound. Dayland quickly into the front court. Left side. Fugate's three on the way. That's a little long, and Grabbing the rebound is Brady. Royals stone cold here in the second half. And they have watched the Royals, or the Greyhounds, with some hot shooting. But right now they're going to be with a offensive foul against Sam Rogers. For Rogers, his second personal, team fifth. A minute 33 left to go first half, 20-10 in favor of the Greyhounds. Plenty of three-point shooting by Carmel. And right now, Southeastern having their own problems finding any offense. They were doing a better job, of course, when the big fella was in, but he's sitting down with two personal fouls right now is Mabor Majak. Left side, Harris raises for a three. He won't get the bucket, but he's going to go and earn a trip to the free throw line where 3 free throws should be awaiting. They say it was after the shot. And Demerica is getting an explanation. And the foul, they said, occurred after Harris let the ball go. And, of course, the shot was no good, so no free throws. Foul went against Connor Wemoff. That was Carmel's 6. There's Kedlowski's 3. It's no good. Fugate with a rebound, and as Dayland Hooks goes up, he's going to be fouled. He will be shooting free throws. It'll be the 7th team foul. And it will also be against Sam Rogers, and that is his 3rd. So 60 seconds remain in this first half. The Royals still looking for their first points of the second quarter, and DeLind will get it from the free throw line. One more for DeLind. And he rattles it home as Will Christie will come in for Rogers, who sits with 3 fouls. DeLind, with those 2 free throws, now has 4 points. And the Royals trail by 8 with 55 seconds remaining. A high ball screen, and now the Greyhounds move it around to Jansen. Jansen hands the ball off. This is Christie. Christie picks up his dribble, and now stolen away by Harris. He gives it to Fugate. Fugate takes it up, lays it in for Josh Fugate. Fugate with a bucket, his first points, and it's now down to a 6-point deficit with 25 seconds remaining. Jansen with the basketball, 18 seconds left to go here in the first half. Southeastern has scored the last 4 points. They trail by 6. Nice entry pass. Alex Jansen finds Cole Brady. He wraps the ball around the other side, gets the bucket, and he'll earn a trip to the free throw line as the foul against Chris Kedlowski. His first 7-team foul as Jansen will leave. And he will be replaced, I believe, by Alex Jackson. Also, Will Christie will sit down, and Nate Martin gets his first action. Meanwhile, Brady will convert the 3-point play and make it a 9-point lead with 8 seconds remaining in this first half. Hooks, right side, drives, loses the basketball. It trickles out to Matt Harris. But well after the clock reads 000, that's the end of the first half. Our score, the Greyhounds lead the Royals 23-14. We'll be back here in about 8 minutes with second half action. This is Royals basketball on Audio Sports Online. Welcome back to Carmel High School. I'm Brian Scott. This is Royals basketball on Audio Sports Online. We are finishing up our halftime warm-ups as we get ready for second half action with the Royals trailing the Greyhounds by the score of 23-14. Southeastern led 10-8 after the end of the first quarter, but Greyhounds, well, they like to shoot the ball from beyond the arc, and they do it very, very well as they scored 6 3-pointers in that first half. And they lead Hamilton Southeastern by 9, 23-14. Royals not able to get a field goal until late in that second quarter as they managed to put 4 points on the board in the second quarter, and now they'll have to try to dig themselves out of a hole as we get ready to start quarter number 3. As Mabor Majak, I believe, had 5 points in that first half, but he also ended up being saddled with a couple of fouls and had to be taken out. And when Majak was in, that was pretty much the offense for Hamilton Southeastern. Try to get it down low to the big fella and then have him either work, try to get something down in the low blocks, down in the low post, and then kick it out and try to get something from beyond. But right now, he's been missing for the better part of this second quarter, and that's when the Greyhounds were able to go on that run and take the lead. So we're getting ready for second half action, and for Hamilton Southeastern, it'll be Fugate, Beeman, Harris, Hooks, and Majak to begin the second half. And for the Greyhounds, it will be Jansen, Jackson, Rogers, Christie, and Frisch. So the starting 5 for both sides. They will begin the second half as well. The Royals in their road royal blue jerseys with white numerals and white trim, and the Greyhounds in their home whites with the gold numerals and blue trim, in gold and blue trim. Royals will have the basketball to begin second quarter, or the second half. We will begin the third quarter with 7 minutes on the clock, and the Royals trailing by 9. So Hooks will get the ball inbounded to Bradley Beeman, and Beeman to Fugate. Fugate left side to Beeman, and they immediately go to Majak, who finds Beeman, and Beeman's going to be pushed out. And the first foul of the second half will go against the Carmel Greyhounds. We'll go against Ben Frisch, which I believe that will be his second personal foul. First team foul in the second half. As Beeman gets it to Fugate. Fugate drives baseline. Bounce pass to Majak, a little low. Mabor puts the ball on the floor, turns around, rolls off the rim, and into the hands of the Greyhounds. They lead by 9. This is their first possession of the second half. As backing up will be Christie, right side. Jansen for 3, and the Greyhounds pick up right where they left off in the first half, nailing the 3. And that gives them a 12-point lead at 26-14. Fugate, right side to Matt Harris, down to Beeman. Beeman lobs it to Majak. Majak a little further out. He will now set up and give it to Fugate. Fugate at the free throw line tries to lob it to Mabor. They'll send it out to Hooks, and Hooks will get the 3 from the corner. Call it a 2. They'll say he was just inside on the line. And as the Greyhounds get it down low, they'll get it to Ben Frisch. Frisch will get the bucket. And we're going to have a timeout. Initially, they were going to call a timeout against Carmel, and they insisted that no timeout. So we will keep it here as the Royals will have the basketball. They trail 28-16. And get things situated. And right now it'll be Royals basketball trailing by 12 with 5:40 left to go third quarter. Here's Beeman, left side to Hooks. They're looking for Majak, but they'll get it to Harris. Harris right side to Bradley. Bradley down to Fugate. He makes a drive and a whistle, and a foul is going to be called against the Greyhounds. And it will go against Ben Frisch. That'll be his third. So Frisch will depart, and they will bring in Cole Brady, as Frisch leaves with 3 fouls and 2 points. Beeman to inbounds, looks, lobs it to Fugate, fadeaway jumper, that's short, into the hands, however, Majak. Mabor gets the bucket, and he will go to the line. Brady will be called for the personal foul. That'll be his second, team's third, and Majak will pick up his 7th point, and now he can make it his 8th if he can convert the 3-point play. Mabor's free throw is no good. Brady with a rebound, and it's a 10-point deficit for Southeastern with 5:15 remaining here in the third quarter. Alex Jackson leaves it off for Brady. Majak tries to come back and swat it away, but he's just a tad late. And Brady finishes it off, and it's back to a 12-point lead as we dip under 5 minutes left to go third quarter. Harris to Hooks. DeLind over to Fugate. Left side to Harris. Harris just inside the arc now will back it up. Right side to Fugate. Fugate. Bounce pass down to Majak. Mabor will send it out to Beeman. Left side to Harris. Harris gets a screen from Majak and now tries a little pick and roll action, and Mabor comes away with it and gets the bucket. Little pick and roll action. Majak set the screen, came back down, got the basket. And it's back to a 10-point deficit for Southeastern with 4:20 remaining in this third quarter as Will Christie dribbles the basketball, gives it to Jackson over to Rogers, guarded by Matt Harris. Here is Jansen off the curl. His 3 is no good. Brady with the rebound. Fugate, though, steals it, manages it to save it in, and here's DeLind Hooks. Hooks will take it. He will miss the layup, and as Mabor Majak was going for the putback, a whistle will stop play. And it will be 2 free throws as they will call the foul against Jackson Jansen. That is his first. And Mabor is at the line. He's got 9 points. It is the 4th team foul against the Greyhounds here in this second half. And Mabor's free throw just a tad long off the iron. 3:59 remains in the third quarter. 30-20. Majak missed the first free throw. Second free throw is good. Mabor is in double figures with 10 points, and the deficit's down to single digits at 9, with the Greyhounds leading 30-21 with 3:53 remaining in the third quarter. Being harassed is Christie. He'll give the ball to Jansen, who's guarded by Bradley Beeman. Alex Jackson now with the basketball. Picks up his dribble, sends it over to Christie, who hands it back over to Jansen. Greyhounds weaving it up top. Royals coming up to meet that. And now here's Jackson with the basketball at the right elbow. He sends it over to Brady. Brady gets the bucket, and he's going to draw the foul as Majak tried to rush out. And Mabor is going to be hit with his 3rd personal. First team foul against Southeastern, and that'll send Cole Brady to the line to see if he can convert the 3-point play. He misses the free throw, but it is an 11-point lead for the Greyhounds at 32-21. Harris, right side to Fugate, looking for Majak down in the low blocks. Mabor now working with 3 fouls. Turn around, left hook, shot will not drop, and it will go off of Mabor out of bounds, and the ball will go over to the Greyhounds. Substitution for the Greyhounds, Connor Wemoff will come in. He will give Sam Rogers a spell. 32-21. Greyhounds have the lead in the basketball, and now the Royals will set up a 2-2-1. They get the ball into the front court. And here's a little teardrop floater over Majak, left short. Harris with a rebound for Southeastern. He was bumped from behind, no whistle. He'll give the ball to DeLind Hooks. Hooks He will launch the three. That's off the back iron. And getting the rebound is Wemoff. He will hand the ball off to Will Christie. Double team comes, and the Greyhounds lose the basketball, but it's tapped, and they'll get it in the backcourt. Here is Jansen. His shot altered by Majak. Beeman tried to save it from going out of bounds, and in the end, the Greyhounds come away with the basket. Now we will have a timeout called with 2:20 remaining in this third quarter. Greyhounds lead this Hamilton Southeastern Royals by the score 34-21. Back with more action coming up. This is Royals basketball on ASO. 2 minutes, 20 seconds remain in this third quarter, and the Hamilton Southeastern Royals trail the Carmel Greyhounds in this junior varsity contest by the score of 34-21. Mabor Majak, he has been the bulk of the Royals' offense in this game. He has 10 points, but he also now has 3 personal fouls. Meanwhile, it's been raining threes all game long for the Greyhounds, and right now Jackson Jansen has 12 points off of 4 3-point baskets. At the timeout, Nate Shikowski enters the lineup for Hamilton Southeastern. He joins Bradley Beeman, Cole Hornbuckle, Matt Harris, and Mabor Majak. This is Harris down low to Majak. Majak over to the left side. Shikowski in the lane, bounce pass to Majak. And he'll find Bradley Beeman. He'll set the screen and then go right side to Shikowski. Under 2 minutes left to go, third quarter. Royals with the basketball, trailing by 13. Harris left side to Beeman. Good defense once again by Carmel, as Harris will launch the three and nail it. Matt Harris with a 3-point basket. Makes it a 10-point deficit for Southeastern with 1:40 left to go in the third. Royals employ the press, and Shatkowski, the only one to come away with the basket here, is Cole Hornbuckle. Little hesitation move, and he'll get the bucket, and what was a 13-point lead for the Greyhounds is now down to 8. Greyhounds with the basketball. Here's Alex Jansen, and he will quickly answer that with a 3-point basket to put the lead back to 11 with 1:11 left to go in the third quarter. Left side, this is Matt Harris. Over to Cole Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle looking to get down low to Majak. Instead gives it back to Matt as we go under a minute left to play in the third quarter. Here's Nate Shikowski, and as he makes a move down the left side of the lane, he'll lose the basketball, but a whistle and a foul is going to be called against the Greyhounds. And I believe it'll go against Cole Brady. That'll be his third. It is the 16th foul against the Greyhounds. Correction, the 5th. Meanwhile, Shikowski's at the line. That rattles and drops as Ben Frisch will re-enter the lineup for Brady, who leaves with 7 points and 3 personals. Meanwhile, Shikowski with one more free throw. Second free throw is up, hits the front iron, and will not fall as it goes off the side, and Alex Jackson has the basketball. Greyhounds with a 10-point lead, and 43 seconds remain in this third quarter. 2-man game at the top. Now they'll swing it around to Jansen as the Royals go to the 2-3 zone. 26 seconds remain as they get the ball to the free throw line, but then have to send it right back out to the midcourt stripe. Jansen and Jackson playing a 2-man game as the Greyhounds bleed time here in the third quarter, down to 13 seconds remaining. They'll get it to the middle, and now they'll get a screen. Jackson bounce pass down low, missing the shot, trying to save it, and doing so is Ben Frisch. He threw it off of Mabor Majak. They finally got an open down to the baseline. Connor Wemoff couldn't finish it off, and now 1.8 seconds remain, and the Greyhounds have the basketball up by 10. They'll get it to Jackson. He'll launch the three, and it was no good. That is the end of the third quarter of play. Our score after three, the Royals trail the Greyhounds 37-27. Fourth quarter action coming up in this junior varsity contest. This is Royals basketball on ASO. We're ready to start the fourth quarter here from Carmel High School. The Greyhounds and the Royals in this junior varsity contest. And right now it is all Greyhounds as they lead by 10. And Greyhounds having a tough job getting the ball inbounded to begin the third quarter. And they are forced to call a timeout. 37-27. Carmel with the lead, but had a problem getting it inbounded to begin the fourth quarter. So good job by the Royals, and they're going to need more of that if they want to erase this 10-point deficit. To begin the second half, it'll be Bradley Beeman, Matt Harris, Cole Hornbuckle, Nate Shudkowski, and Mabor Majak. And for the Greyhounds, Jackson Jansen, Sam Rogers, Alex Jackson, Connor Wemoff, and Ben Frisch. Starting lineup, or that is the fourth quarter lineup, as it says 6:59. As they will have to reset it to 7 minutes because no time should have gone off. It currently reads 6:59 as they were unable to inbound. So they are checking with the scorers table. And they now reset it to 7. As no time should have ran off after the after the Greyhounds were unable to inbound to begin the quarter. So they get it back to 7 minutes, and we'll try this all over again. And this time the Greyhounds are able to get it inbound, and they will get it inbounded to Sam Rogers, who will bring it into the front court. There's Jackson Jansen. He's been deadly from beyond the arc, and he'll give it to Alex Jackson. Jackson with the basketball. He has 5 points, and they'll send it out. Here's a shot. 3-ball, no good, and Majak has the rebound, but it's stolen. As he left it out there, Sam Rogers was able to come away with the steal. Here's Jackson. He drives, blocked by Majak, but coming away with it is Ben Frisch. He'll get the basketball back, and as he drives baseline, he'll be called for traveling. Substitution for the Greyhounds as Will Christie will come in for Connor Wemoff. Royals trail by 10 at 37-27, just underway fourth quarter from Carmel. Junior varsity action, varsity to follow on Audio Sports Online as Beeman right side to Shudkowski. He'll give it to Matt Harris. Matt, right side to Hornbuckle, lobs it to Majak. Mabor will send it out to Beeman on the other side. Hornbuckle to Harris. Harris around a Majak screen. They tried to set up the pick and roll. Instead, here's Beeman. His three is off. Harris with a rebound. He'll give it to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle drives, lays it up off the glass, count it, and he will go to the free throw line. Foul will be called against Ben Frisch. That's his fourth, 16 foul. And Frisch will depart, and Cole Brady will come in. As right now the Greyhounds with a little bit of foul problems with their big men. as Frisch leaves with 4. Brady has 3. Substitutions as Beeman and Harris depart. DeLind Hooks and Josh Fugate in for Southeastern, and Cole Hornbuckle at the free throw line to see if he can convert on the three-point play. Cole converts the three-point play, and with that, it is down to a 7-point deficit at 37-30 with 5:52 left to go in the fourth. Greyhounds having all sorts of problem getting inbounds, and the Royals are able to pilfer it. Here is Majak, and he gets the bucket, and it's down to a 5-point deficit, and the Greyhounds still having problems, but they get it to Jackson. Jackson in the front court sends it right side. Royals will set up the 2-3 zone now as Jansen has the basketball, tries to dribble drive, and has to send it back out to Will Christie. Left side, this is Sam Rogers, and he's going to be called for traveling. So the Greyhounds now having a little problem with the pressure of Hamilton Southeastern, both inbounding and now defensive pressure. And again, the Royals have now trimmed this deficit to 5, and they still have 5:15 left to go in the fourth quarter. Right side, Fugate down to Majak. Majak with 12 points. Left-hander, that's short. Gets his own rebound, puts it off the glass, and gets the bucket. Mabor with 14 points, and it's a one-possession game. 37-34 as we have 5 minutes left, and now a whistle will be blown, and this time a foul is going to be called against the Royals. Their second team foul, I should say. Josh Fugate will also pick up his second foul. Meanwhile, the next Carmel foul will put the Royals at the line in the bonus. They currently have 16 fouls. 4:51 remains. Greyhounds with 37-34 lead. They led by 12. Here's a long-range three. That's no good. Ball is rebounded by Hornbuckle off of the miss from Christie. Hornbuckle left side to Fugate. Fugate to Nate Shadkowski. And Shadkowski will give it to DeLind Hooks near the center jump circle. 4:30 left to go. Royals trail by 3. Here's Hooks. His shot from the left elbow is no good. And the Greyhounds come away with a rebound. With the basketball, Will Christie working on Fugate to Wemoff. And out to Jackson Jansen, who's been deadly from beyond the arc. They'll find Jansen down in the corner. He's picked up by DeLind Hooks. Royals applying good defensive pressure as we're going to have a whistle as Jackson initially looked like he kind of dropped a shoulder, but they're going to call. Nate Shadkowski is going to be called for his third team foul, and now Nate will depart as Matt Harris returns the lineup for Coach Dave Merrick's Royals. 3:51 left to go. A 3-point lead for the Greyhounds. Dribbling the basketball is Will Christie, picked up by Fugate. They go left side down in the corner to Jansen, and they'll go back to Christie. Christie right side, they leave it off, and getting it up and over Mabor Majak was Cole Brady. That pushes the lead back to 5 for the Greyhounds with 3:27 left to go. They're looking to get Majak. Bounce pass by Hooks, and Majak's going to be called for traveling. Majak tried to make that move to his left hand, but did not put the ball on the court first, so he's called for steps. 3:21 remains in the fourth. 39-34 in favor of the Greyhounds. They get the ball in, tucked away by Hornbuckle as Fugate goes after the basketball, and the foul is going to be called against the Carmel Greyhounds. And the foul will go against Will Christie. That's his first, but the 7th team foul. Bonus is now in effect, and Josh Fugate's at the line with a 1-1 with 3:19 left to go. Royals will be shooting free throws the remainder of this contest. They trail by 5, and Fugate gets the kind roll on the front end of the 1-and-1 and will get the bonus. For Southeastern, they've only committed 3 team fouls in this second half. And Fugate makes them both and makes it, again, a one-possession game as quickly the Greyhounds get up front, but a pilfer there by DeLand Hooks. Hooks right side. This is Hornbuckle. His pull-up jumper, no good, but he's hit on the arm on the shot, and the Royals are back at the free throw line. It'll be the 8th team foul, second personal against Connor Wemoff, and Cole Hornbuckle, who has 5 points. We'll see if he can add 6 and 7 and make this a 1-point game. He hits the first, 39-37 now, Carmel, and he can make it a 1-point game with a free throw here. 3 minutes, 8 seconds remain here in this fourth quarter. And Hornbuckle hits both free throws, and it's a 1-point game with 3:08 remaining here in the fourth quarter. As Christie gets past Fugate, and now Jackson's going to knock Fugate down, but they're going to get Josh with a foul. For Fugate, foul number 3, and the 4th team foul against Hamilton Southeastern. Greyhounds throw it into the backcourt. Will Christie will pick it up, and he'll get to Jackson. Jackson gets in the lane, and he's going to be called for steps. Jackson got in the lane, saw the big fella Mabor Majak, and just had a little bit of a drag there. He'll be called for steps, and the turnover gives the ball back to Southeastern, who could take the lead with a bucket here. They trail by 1. They've eliminated they would be in the process of eliminating a 13-point deficit. Here's Fugate down to Majak. Majak loses the basketball, but it went off of a Greyhound, so we'll stay at this end with the ball remaining in the possession of the Royals with 2:39 left to play. Royals trail 39-38. Hornbuckle, he gets it into Harris, over to Hooks. Hooks gets it up in the lane, count the basket, and he will go to the free throw line for the and one as the Royals take the lead on the Hooks basket. Foul's going to be against Cole Brady. That's his 4th. And the Royals have erased a 13-point deficit. They now lead 40-39 with 2:33 remaining in this fourth quarter. Wemoff will depart. Jackson Jansen will re-enter. Jansen has 12 points, and he started this first half off on fire from beyond the arc, but he has been held scoreless here in the second half. Hooks, meanwhile, looking to convert the three-point play and give the Royals a 2-point lead, which he does. 41-39, Hamilton Southeastern now with the lead. 2:30 left to go in regulation as Alex Jackson gets it into the front court. Jansen, they go right side to Christie, and they'll get it back to Jansen as they swing left side to Rogers. Rogers drives left side, and a reach-in, I believe, is going to be called. They'll say that the foul occurred on the floor before the shot, and I believe it's going to go against DeLand Hooks, which it will for DeLand, his second, 15 foul, and we're going to get a timeout called by Carmel with 2:13 remaining. Hamilton Southeastern erases a 13-point deficit. They currently lead the Greyhounds by the score of 41-39. We'll have more action coming up. This is Royals basketball on ASO. Brian Scott back with you from Carmel High School as the JV Royals have erased a 13-point deficit. They now lead the Greyhounds 41-39. Mabor Majak with one of his best games of the season. He has 14 points and he has been a factor both rebounding the basketball and shot blocking. And he has 3 personals, but he has managed to keep the foul problems to a minimum after picking up 2 in the first half. He picked up 1 in the third quarter, but has been able to keep away from any foul difficulties here in this fourth quarter. As Alex Jackson, he tries to go baseline, and it's stolen away as the ball's thrown away by Matt Harris. And if nothing else, the big fella proves that he is simply a force to be reckoned with, just altering shots by his presence. As now they'll go left side, Matt Harris, and we have a player down for Carmel as he will take a look. As not sure if he came off from a screen. He's rubbing his thigh. I believe that is Sam Rogers. As he gets up, it is Rogers. He'll walk over toward the bench. He was rubbing his thigh, and he will have to depart. And I believe in his stead they will bring back Connor Wemoff. 1:54 left to go in this fourth quarter. Royals lead by 2, 41-39, and they have the basketball as Cole Hornbuckle triggers the inbound, and Fugate will have to chase it back into the backcourt and bring it back up front. 1:50 left to play. Right side, this is Hooks. Hooks into the lane, loses the basketball, and it's out of bounds, and they say it went off of the Greyhounds. And they say it went off of Will Christie. No, they'll call the foul, not the... They're simply going to call a foul against Christie, and this is the double bonus, is now the 10th team foul called against the Greyhounds. As Greyhounds arguing the call, but is DeLynn Hooks at the free throw line with 2 free throws. Double bonus in effect. DeLynn gets the roll. Used just about every portion of the rim before it fell, and that stretches the lead to 42-39. Royals could make it a 2-possession game with a free throw here, and Hooks does just that. And now Coach Dave Merica will call 30-second timeout with 1:41 remaining, and Hamilton Southeastern now up 43-39. I'm Brian Scott. JV action. Royals have battled back after being down by 13. They now lead by 4. The Greyhounds started off this first half on fire from beyond the arc, but that has not been the case here in the second half. And after building up the lead, they have watched Southeastern with a combination of pressure and Mabor Majak down low erase the deficit, and now the Royals have a 2-possession lead at 43-39. Out of the timeout, it'll be Majak, Hooks, Hornbuckle, Harris, and Fugate. And it'll be Wemoff, Jackson, Rogers, Will Christie, Jackson Jansen, and Cole Brady for the Greyhounds. They'll have the basketball, and they'll see a 2-2-1 press being employed by Hamilton Southeastern. Wemhoff with the basketball, and he will find Jackson. Jackson will launch the 3. It's no good, and Hooks has the rebound. Hooks with some good bit of ball handling. He finds Fugate. 1:22 remains. Royals are up by 4, and now they're going to get Fugate for a double dribble. So Josh Fugate called for the double dribble. Turnover with 1:20 remaining. Royals lead 43-39. Christie with the basketball, leaves it left side to Brady. Up top, this is Jackson. Jackson, fadeaway jumper, right in front of the free throw line. That's up and good. Jackson now with 7 points, down to a 2-point lead for Southeastern. Under a minute left to play, 43-41. Hooks to Hornbuckle. Cole will give it to Matt Harris. And now a whistle and a timeout called by Hamilton Southeastern. A full timeout with 49.4 seconds remaining And the Royals leading the Greyhounds 43-41. Coming up, probably going to be a little after 7:30 tonight. Varsity action as your Royals take on the 7th-ranked Carmel Greyhounds in what is going to be a very, very tough stretch of games to close out the season before heading into sectional play for Hamilton Southeastern. Carmel tonight, Pike on Tuesday. The Bulldogs of Brownsburg will be the final road trip of the regular season for the Royals, and then Hamilton Southeastern will finish the regular season at home against Lawrence North. And then we will head into sectionals. For the Greyhounds, it'll be Brady, Christie, Jackson, Wemoff, and Jansen. And as Hamilton Southeastern breaks their huddle, they will have Beeman, Harris, Fugate, Hornbuckle, and Hooks. So an all-guard lineup for Coach Dave Merica, looking to get his ball handlers in there. As Fugate will trigger the inbounds across the ways. And he will find Beeman in the backcourt. 47 seconds remain. Royals up by 2. Here is Hooks. Daylin drives, tries to put it up. Shot is blocked out of bounds, and the Royals will retain possession with 38.4 seconds remaining. Hamilton Southeastern up by 2, 43-41. And it'll be Fugate once again with the inbounds. He finds Hornbuckle but throws it away. Wimoff was able to step in and intercept the inbounds pass, and now the Greyhounds, who trail by 2, have the basketball with 29 seconds. Here's Jackson, leaves that shot short, and as Daylin Hooks gets the rebound, he's going to be fouled, and we're going to head to the other end for free throws. Foul will be called against Alex Jackson. That's his second. Royals are in the double bonus, and Josh Fugate will be at the line with 25.9 seconds remaining. He could make it a 2-possession game if he can make both free throws here. Royals currently up by 2. Fugate sinks the first. Royals up by 3, and now a big free throw coming up as Mabor Majak will come in for Bradley Beeman. Fugate can convert this. It's a 2-possession game, and he does. Royals up by 4, 45-41, 25.9 seconds remain. Here come the Greyhounds, and they throw it right off of Majak, and now a tie-up. Majak had the ball kind of over his head, and what happened was Cole Brady just came in behind and tried to take it away, but the possession arrow favors Southeastern, so they will have the basketball up by 4 with 18.1 seconds remaining in this basketball game. Hooks, he gets it to Beeman. Beeman, no foul yet, and now they finally foul with 15.1 seconds remaining as Alex Jackson forced to commit the personal, his third, and Bradley Beeman will head to the other end of the court. Well, he will have 2 free throws, double bonus in effect. Southeastern still with only 5 team fouls. And Beeman can make things very difficult for Carmel with a couple of free throws here, but he misses the first one. Majak will re-enter the lineup for Hamilton Southeastern for Cole Hornbuckle. It is a 4-point lead for Hamilton Southeastern, and Beeman can't hit either of the free throws, but Hooks gets the rebound, and he's going to be sent to the free throw line. As getting called for the reach-in was Cole Brady. For Brady, that's his 5th. He is done. He will leave with 9 points. And it will be Ben Frisch returning to the lineup. Frisch also has 4 personal fouls and 2 points. But now Hooks is at the line where he is 4-4 from the free throw line here in this quarter. And he calmly sinks the first. That makes it a 5-point game with 12.8 seconds remaining. One more free throw. Hooks cans them both. It's a 6-point game for Southeastern with 12.8 seconds remaining. Here are the Greyhounds. Jackson forces up a 3. That shot's no good. Beeman with a rebound. He'll be fouled with 4.9 seconds, and back to the other end we go as Bradley Beeman will be at the free throw line. A 2-possession game. 1 free throw makes it a 3-possession game. Foul's going to be called against Ben Frisch. That's his 5th, and now the Greyhounds have lost both of their big men. Carlton Webb will make his first appearance. He's a 6'3 sophomore. And Bradley Beeman is at the free throw line. He just missed 2. And that one he gets the roll off the front of the rim, and now it's a 3-possession game for Southeastern. They lead by 7, 48-41 with 4.9 seconds remaining. Beeman can't get the second one to drop. As the clock winds down, and that shot is no good, and that's the end of the ball game. Hamilton Southeastern erases a 13-point deficit, and the JVs beat Carmel 48-41. Stay tuned. Varsity action coming up on Audio Sports Online. We'll rejoin you in about 15 minutes as the Royals take on the Greyhounds. From Carmel High School, this is Royals basketball on ASL.